this. And thank you all for joining. I know middle of the day is super hard for anyone to be able to jump on a live class. We will have the recordings available, but I've been wanting to do classes like this, not sure how the best platform to do it, whether it's Zoom. Next month, I am going to try to do it via StreamYard, where it can be unlisted on YouTube, get a little bit more engagement. It makes it easier for me to be able to see the chats that are going on. Feel free, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Once I get done, I will be kind of looking at it through class, but then I will go back and I'll answer any questions that you do have. I want to make sure to answer all of those. I call it my basics getting started, but honestly, there are a ton of record this meeting locally. I have this being recorded, Nancy. So this class is more of my basics. I'm going to show you where to get a lot of different resources in the notes. I did put this graphic that you see right here. It's kind of my cheat sheet. If you're a broker, I definitely would recommend having some of these links in your dashboard so that all your agents have access to it. They've kind of made some of them a little harder to find than others, but I did want to show inside of your main dashboard. Obviously, when we log in, the first thing that we see in our dashboard is going to be when you log in. Obviously, for very beginners, I go to remax.net. And then once you're in there, let's log back in. You're going to see the MAXTech Powered by kvCORE tile. I get in that way. Some people can save this MAXTech Powered by kvCORE link. I'm in and out of so many different accounts. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't like it. So I do have to log into remax.net in order to get into our kvCORE platform, because it is tied into the Remax platform. When you're on here, one of the biggest things on an agent level, if you're brand new, you may still have blue chat bubbles, or on a broker level, make sure that you click those, watch the videos, follow the steps so that you can get those out of your way, because they are a nuisance, but I don't think they go away until you actually watch the quick steps that it'll have you kind of be able to navigate through the system. Another one is going to be the Agent Quick Start Guide. I recommend this for all of the agents on a broker level, the brokers that we manage, we do pay-per-clicks or whatnot. After we've done a few trainings, we as brokers can see if an agent has completed this Agent Quick Start Guide. So once you click on that, this is going to be a great way. Have a cup of coffee, watch a couple of the videos. They're really short, but it is going to help you get that basic fundamentals of kvCORE. I don't want to cover just the simples. I want to cover all the questions that I get asked on a daily basis and things that we can be doing now, as this is brand new to us, to help us organize our database and be able to navigate some of the fun stuff inside of kvCORE. So that's what we're going to really be covering today. Things that you can actually start using right now to get everything organized, and some of the favorite tools that are more on that beginner level. Just know there are more tools inside of your platform, inside kvCORE, than you're actually ever going to use. Every agent is different. So it's a matter of finding out which tools are going to work for your business and complement it and what you do, and help you work smarter, not harder. That's what we really want to get covered today. So make sure you go and do this Agent Quick Start Guide. It's even if you're on a broker level, have a couple lunch and learns and just watch it as a group. It's really going to help agents have that basic fundamentals of every aspect on kvCORE, just those basics. So that's right there in your dashboard. If you're in Remax Tech and Tools group, I have on featured post is resource links. That is where I just pulled this from. So you have the Agent Quick Start Guide, but we also have past class recordings. I use this all the time. This is going to be all of the classes that we have available to us. No, you do not have to watch every single one of them. Look down at the bottom. There are going to be separate tabs. So each one of these tabs is all of the recordings that they're doing for MAXTech Powered by kvCORE. And just know these classes are going to be a little different than the kvCORE generic classes, because this is specific for Remax. So make sure you go down to the bottom tabs. As you watch a couple of these, you may have speakers that you really like. You're just going to click on one of these, register, and watch at your convenience. If you're like me, I don't always have time during the day. Thank you guys for all being on here. I'm not always able to in the middle of the day to join classes, but I do when I wake up. This is when I'll be watching these videos. So the How It Works webinar, that is a great basic starter, get to know the system. Welcome to kvCORE. And for MAXTech Powered by kvCORE exclusively. So make sure you watch that one if you haven't. And of course, there's other classes like building your pipeline. That's, going to give you a lot of different articles. This 10 by 10 method is a great way. It's kind of like the old Tom Ferry memory jogger, where you have all of these different people that you can be bringing into your system. The more people that we have in our CRM, the more we can do with it. So as far as newsletters, campaigns, any of that fun stuff, we want to be able to build that pipeline, bringing people in. And of course, on agent, team, and broker, we have lead router, pawns, all of that stuff, generating new leads. There are a lot of great ideas and classes. Each one of these are going to have the articles that support whatever that topic is about. So make sure to watch any of these. There's tons of great classes that are available to you, so you can watch them at your leisure. These are all the recordings for each of these classes. If you like live classes, you can always come up to upcoming MAXTech classes. It is the same. These are all the recorded ones I just showed you. This is if you want to watch it live, so you can ask questions, anything like that. You'll see that they have multiple classes offered weekly. So here we go in here, different times, what's convenient for you. You can go ahead and register for any of these classes. It'll still send you the recording of that. But if you want to be live on any of those, you will come over to this one, and it's just under Linktree and in the MAXTech_kvCORE training. That way you can watch any of those. If you have specific questions and you're not able to get, sometimes we don't even know how to ask support what we're looking for, but it may be super specific. You want to talk directly with a trainer, just you're trying to do landing pages or something unique. This bottom Ask Me Anything is to talk directly with a kvCORE trainer. I absolutely love this. I may get a few questions. I don't want to have to go to support. It's more in depth than that. So I'm going to go to the Ask Me Anything. These are about once a week, like every week and a half. And this goes to show you the different times that they have available. If you do this, whenever I've gone on it, usually they'll have a few kvCORE trainers inside of a Zoom. I log on to the Zoom link maybe 5 minutes before it actually starts. So they have the different trainers. As agents join, they're going to grab an agent, take you off into a breakout room. You talk with them, get your questions answered, and you're done. So I like to log in a few minutes earlier, just so that I don't have to sit there and wait in queue. I want to be one of the first ones. I talk to the trainer, get my questions answered, and so it's not like a full hour. It's specifically if you are looking to talk directly with a trainer and get some more advanced support or help or anything like that. I absolutely love that feature, use it all the time, especially when we are onboarding and everything was still new to us. I used it all the time. So definitely those are all great. That's if you wanted to watch anything live. And of course, then you have your RE/MAX University classes and upcoming kvCORE training, which is specific to kvCORE, not necessarily MAXTech. So it's not specific to RE/MAX agents. And that is right here on your dashboard, View Training Center. That's going to tell you, I can go to Eastern, I'm on Eastern. So they do about 4 classes a day. Again, I can register for any of these. A lot of them may be more advanced, intermediate, basics. They cover a lot of different ones. I will get that recording if I register. So even if you don't watch it live, go ahead and register, and that way you can get that registration link. And of course, RE/MAX is constantly doing classes at least like once a week, sometimes twice a week on kvCORE specifically. So this link will take you directly into the RE/MAX University, into the MAXTech Powered by kvCORE classes that they have, a ton of videos that they're doing. Definitely feel free to watch those. So those are going to be more basic. I wanted to at least have those different links. Now we're going to go dive in specifically into, let me X out of these, too many windows, be too much for me. Let's close out of here, and we don't need that. All right, logging right into our main dashboard, getting started. This is a great thing to look at in the morning. You're going to see tasks. These are things that you should be looking at. It's going to be tasks that maybe you set up. Maybe you have new leads and the system is going to try to help you cultivate, have a little accountability. It's going to be telling you maybe you should call these people, email, text, whatever. The system is going to help you with that accountability. So make sure to look at the tasks and go ahead and whether you want to snooze, reassign it, whatever the case may be, looking at your tasks daily is going to be good. The next one, we're going to go ahead and come over to your name because we're going to go into what this smart number is. The smart number, it is the system. It is going to, it's a shared number with the agents in your specific office. If you have one office, it's everybody in your company. If you have multiple offices, it's going to be every office has its own smart number, but all the agents share it. It's a smart number, uses, the system is going to be using that to kind of cultivate worker leads, asking them questions, probing. Of course, if they respond to that, that text or anything is already attached to you, the agent. So that way it's going to know who to go to. Don't put that anywhere publicly, because if you, oh, what's that number? That's not my number. Let me call it. Let me see what happens. It's basically going to go to the next agent on rotation for your location. We don't want to do that. Now you're going to create yourself as a lead, take an agent spot for their lead rotation. So this number isn't really publicly displayed. Companies can choose whether or not they want to display this on their office website. I personally don't, just because we get a lot of just kind of generic calls and I don't want my agents being the assistant. I want those going to my front desk. So it just depends on that. Otherwise, don't put that publicly, because if it is not attached to anybody in the system, it's going to create a round robin effect. If you call that number, you get another agent that answers that. That's when you'll see every time you call that number, that same agent is going to answer the call, because now your cell phone, you've created yourself as a lead and your cell phone number is attached to that agent. That's where the smart part comes in. I will show you, and in another class, we'll get more into that lead engine, but just to show you the cool things other than just obviously the system using that smart number to work the leads on your behalf is going to be the text codes that you can do with that smart number. And you can purchase your own. If you plan to do a lot of text codes and using this, I would pay the extra, I believe it's $27 a month to have my own dedicated number. I can publicly display. It's always going to come to me. Maybe if you're a team leader and will be using this, you may want to purchase your own for your team. It's completely up to you. And if you're going to actually use it, maybe try it a couple times, see if it's something you really want to do. A lot of agents use this for, gosh, the sky's the limit on everything that you can use these smart numbers for. My personal favorite is my own custom sign writer. So I can have a sign writer done by my local sign company. You can have Oakley, any of the preferred partners can also make these for you. And it'll say text info or text by me. And I'm going to say to the smart number for pictures and details. So when I'm in my dashboard and I go to that lead engine, I go to create the call or text, I'm going to attach it to my new listing at 123 Main Street. So I have that sign writer, 123 Main Street. Instead of all the nosy neighbors or drive-by stealing all my flyers, they're going to use this to text, and they're immediately going to get all the property information. And now they just created themselves as a lead inside of my dashboard, and they're going to be labeled with that physical address, or however, I always do it as the address, maybe the city, whatever you, maybe neighborhood. I like to do it as the address so I know. Multiple hashtags is fine too. That way, all of your leads stay organized from day one. But where this is great, so 123 Main Street, I had 15 or so people go ahead and text, get all that information. That property just went under contract, but I am now listing the neighbor's house down the road at 865 Main Street. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that sign writer, move it to my new listing sign, go into my dashboard, assign the new property address that's tied to that text. So now when someone texts by me, they're now going to get my new listings information. Where this also works great, and we'll get into that in just a moment, is our listing playbooks, because now we have organized hashtags. So now I have a way to easily send out an announcement to all of those people that had created a lead for 123 Main Street. for my new listing down the road. So you can also put it on your signs. I personally like the sign writer because it's super easy for me to know where I'm putting each sign. If you maybe do 5 of them, maybe you have info 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or buy me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty, whatever you want to do for your sign writers and your codes. Nobody can duplicate. Once you have set up buy me, nobody else in your office can tie that code to that specific smart number. If they're in a different office or by their own, they can have that same code, but it will not let you duplicate a code because buy me is going to be attached to me. Nobody else can use it. The system wouldn't know what to do. So that way, anytime somebody texts that specific code, the system knows that belongs to me. Nobody else can create and duplicate what I've done. So these are great. I absolutely love them. You can also use them for your social media post, for flyers, for postcards, for any of the snail mail. Maybe you want to do text newsletter to sign up for my monthly newsletter. It's going to make it super easy to add those people or just send a mass email to those specific people. You could do giveaways. Maybe you want to do a giveaway every single month. You can actually do a search by hashtag and date. You can use one of those apps so you can go live on social media and just do the Spinny app for everybody who registered that month. There's so many different ways that you can use these text codes. They're awesome. So that to me is the best part about these smart numbers. Don't overthink it too much. Yes, it is shared. If you do a lot of text codes, you may want to buy your own. It may be worth it for you, but there's a lot of different ways that we can do. Here is like a postcard. We combine the smart number text codes with QR codes and smart squeeze pages, landing pages, all for different postcards that you may want to do. So that's just a brief in the next class where we actually go over all the squeeze pages, landing pages, and text codes for lead generation. We'll cover how to actually create those. This is more of a basic, but I do want you to get excited about what this smart number actually does and how it can benefit you versus overthinking that too much. But in any case, we're back on our dashboard. The next part is we're going to go right down here. We just covered the smart number. I'm going to click on my profile. This is something, all of this information is getting pulled over from your MAXCenter profile on a company team leader basis. It almost depends on when you actually onboarded. I'm noticing now, like not all the company information is pulling over, but when I click on edit profile, you'll see all the grayed out spots. Those are what's pulling over from MAXCenter. Now I'm noticing on companies, I actually can add in, I have to add in all of our social links manually. The only one on an agent that is not pulling over is our YouTube. So if you don't see your YouTube icon on the top, it's because it's not pulling over from MAXCenter. So go ahead and manually copy and paste that. Going down, make sure inside of MAXCenter and up here, your MLS ID is there. That is how the system is going to attach you to your listings. Super important. Going down, biggest thing here that we can do on our profile is to add our email signature. I personally use like Y-Stamp. I have no problem with that. You can go right into your Gmail, Outlook, wherever, go to compose an email, copy that email signature and paste it right in here. I have not had any problems. Mine has like my image flips and it has all this fancy stuff that Y-Stamp does for me. I had no problems copying and pasting. And then make sure you have right here, include signature on all outgoing email. That way it's going to actually show up on any of the emails that get sent out. So that is on your profile. Go to save. If you make any changes, always click that blue save button. Coming over to settings. This is that daily email that comes to you. And it's usually going to, I think by default, if you're newer, it's going to be telling you to call these people and you're like, I don't even know who this person is. It probably came over from Booge, which, you know, depending on how long you've been with Remax, it's going to be every platform we've ever had, going all the way back, because every time we have moved platforms, all of our contacts have automatically moved over with us. So if you want to organize that, maybe you don't want all these people you don't know, maybe you just want the new leads, maybe you want your contacts or sphere, you can actually, who do I want the system to tell to call? I personally would not recommend turning this off altogether. It's almost like a nice little morning accountability so that I can still, it's almost like telling you what to do every day. So for this one, I have it for all new leads. Not so worried about what we have going on, anything that we've imported over or that brought over. I'm more focused on the new leads coming into the system. If you work on past clients and referrals, you may want it to be maybe your sphere prospect, however you've labeled them inside of your CRM. Again, every agent works differently, needs a system to work in a different way. It's just up to us to be able to make this work the way we need it to. So this is, you can choose which one you want for your daily call reminders. I have her set for new leads. Yes, auto create the calls you want me to call every day. How many calls am I willing to say I want to do? Here, I just put 5. You can change that. Maybe you want 10, maybe you want 3, whatever you're kind of committed to. It's almost like your accountability partner. And then what time do you want that email to be sent to you? I just have it at 8 a.m. so I can kind of prepare the day. And then if you want this email to come to you on holidays or not, you can turn that on or off as you want. And again, if you've made any changes to this, make sure to hit save. But again, this is the settings for those morning emails that are automatically going to come to you from the system, telling you maybe what you should be doing that day. Also coming up on the very top here, next to your task is this little email icon. You want to go here and sync if you have Gmail or Outlook. I sync it. It's going to sync those contacts, calendar, tasks, all that kind of fun stuff. The other option as you work through the steps to sync that is it's going to ask you if you want to bring all of those incoming emails into the system. To me, that clutters. Then you're going to have every single email you're going back and forth on is going to show up in here. To me, that's way too busy and I don't need my emails all over the place. So I choose not to have my emails also, coming into here. If it is at somebody that's in your system, those emails you'll be able to see inside of that specific person, but I don't want to clutter up my dashboard with all these emails and stuff like that with all my personal emails or anything like that. But definitely sync it for your calendar, for the contacts and stuff like that. Super easy to go ahead and sync those for you. Then you have more options still under my profile. This is just different things. And is it going to do anything? Let me refresh. My little drop down didn't work for me. Nothing is working. Let's see here. Let me go back here to my profile. Settings, more action. Usually there's something there. Let me go back to my dashboard here. Probably was in something. So you have your quick actions here. That is going to be if I want to add a contact, add a call, add a note, add a task, if you want to do a quick blog post and an email, anything like that. I will say a lot of agents, when they go to add a contact, it may give them an error, but it doesn't say why. It just, there was an error and it didn't come in. I will say, if you get that, 9 out of 10 times, if I do a search up here, let me go ahead and search for the person's email that you're trying to upload. It may have come over from another platform inside of your importing of some sort like that. So that's where usually it's not allowing them to add a contact that's already in your system. So that's usually the biggest thing. 9 out of 10 times, that is why they're not able to add any of those in. So that's just going in right into there. All right, so we have that. And I have birds coming into my office. Oh, that's interesting. I have my door open because it's so pretty outside and never had birds come in, but I have 2. Yay. That always makes it fun. That's good for live, right? All right, so as I do a search in here, first we're going to go down the next one. I'm going to go down to playbooks. This by far is one of my favorite tools that we have available to us. So I like to go over it. First thing I will say, since everything is pretty new, you want to go to the Gather Your Sphere playbook. This is going to help you bring all of those contacts, kind of what to do, where do I find contacts, who do I know, from your email, phone, whatever it may be. It's going to give you a bunch of ideas on ways to gather your sphere and all of that fun stuff. So you go through those steps. The next one is ideas on working your sphere. So one is building up your pipeline. The other one is working your pipeline, maybe different emails that you can be doing, setting up different searches or anything like that. You want to be able to go ahead and do that. What I'm going to go over right now is opening the playbook. My playbook is almost like your checklist of everything that you want to do for your brand new listing. So it's going to show your listings here. I'm not sure why anybody would let you, maybe your team listings or something like that. But here, if you're doing an open house for another agent, you could go to your office or company to be able to promote because you get links and all that fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and open up one that I've already started. So I'm going to go ahead and click view. The first step that you get offered is to notify agents. So this is allowing me to send to offices, teams, or individual agents within my company. This is awesome. So it's going to go ahead. It has all of this. It's going to pull in the information, the photos, all of that. Hey, I have a new listing. Go ahead and send that out. If you notice here, there is the blue button that says find matching buyers. Right now, this may not be a big deal, but I'm pretty sure in 6 months, this is going to become one of your favorite elements in the system because so you're sending this to your agents in your office. Each agent, when they get this email, is going to have this find matching buyers. It is literally going to try to match people that they have in their system that match criteria for your new listing by bedroom, price, city, location, all of that fun stuff. So it may be like 7 out of 10 criteria is matched. And then it's going to have a button for that agent to go ahead and reach out to all of their matching people inside of their database. This obviously right now, it's still pretty new, but guaranteed it will be one of your favorite elements. And it's awesome because now your other agents that have, you know, the database and everything else trying to get your listing sold. The next one is going to be contact your matching buyers. So anything that you may have in your system to be able to send out a message, or you can also do custom list. This is where that text code for that sign writer really comes into play. Or when I'm promoting cities or anything on social media, so every week I'm doing a different city, maybe pool, new construction in X city, those are all labeled. So if I get a new listing in X city with a pool, I'm going to be able to use those custom lists for any leads generated. They're all going to be labeled with hashtags. So now I can actually, I have my new listing at 865 Main Street. One of the custom lists I'm going to send it to is everybody who did that text code for my listing at 123 Main Street. They may have missed out on that, but now they have a new opportunity because I just listed the neighbor's house down the street, making it one-click ability to be able to reach out to all of those people that obviously they scanned it, they drove by the house, they like the neighborhood. I want to be able to send that out to them. As you grow your list, as long as if you keep your contacts organized with those hashtags, the better the system is going to work for you. So I use squeeze pages for everything, as well as my listings. And this is going to be able to allow you to do all of that because it's super easy to mass send emails, announcements, all of that stuff based on the folders or hashtags that you're giving everybody. It does create a custom code for each of your listings. I personally do my own custom codes. I don't utilize those because they're like a one and done versus I can repurpose and reuse if I set up my own. And it has all the tracking and stuff like that. The leverage social media, the property boost, that is a paid feature where you can do online social, online lead gen, all of that. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Online leads are online leads. That's why being able to organize your contacts and people that you do get in is better, going to work the best for you. But definitely, you know, you can set up your price and everything to online boost that. The digital promotion is where you can share all these. And I'll show you because kvCORE is like a landing page, a squeeze page. What in the world is the difference between the two? So here, each of your listings is going to have a squeeze page and a landing page created automatically for your listings. I absolutely love these. So here, I'm going to go ahead and copy. You could easily just share it right to your social from here, but I want to show you the difference between the two. So here I'm going to show you a squeeze page, literally takes you to that property on your website, which I would always recommend sharing it this way versus sharing from your MLS. And here's why. One, it looks beautiful. Two, there's 1,000 other things that they can be doing on your website. It's going to generate a lead for you. And there's a ton of call to action items that you can be doing for each one of your listings. So you can see we have, all the photos, information, but look at over here on this top right, we have save, chat with me now, ask me a question, request a showing, set up email alerts. All of those generate a lead for me into the system. And now they're going to be organized because I'm using that specific link versus just going to my website, looking up the address and sharing it that way. It's going to be tied to that listing promotion in this code up here. So I am able to track all of this. So all of these generate leads. Of course, then people can share it, anything like that. They have all the information. Here's another lead opportunity for getting your home value. I have all the property information. Now I come down here. It's going to give me some data. I've got the map. I've got the satellite view. I've got all sorts of great stuff. Here are similar properties I can then go look at. I'm already logged into her system, but if I leave my listing and now go to another listing, it's going to prompt for me to register, generating a lead for me. But the squeeze page allows me to see the listing. So if I'm promoting an open house, I probably want them to see that address for the looky-loos. However, if I'm just promoting the listing, I want to do lead gen, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use the landing page. Think of a landing page as more of a gateway to information. You give me something, I'm going to give you something. So in this case, is you give me your email address, and then you're going to click see price and pictures. That is going to unlock this page right here, generating a lead for me, building my pipeline, having them organized all right inside of my CRM. So I absolutely love those. If I'm just promoting the listing, I'm probably going to be using the gateway. Otherwise, if I'm doing an open house, and do it different ways, see what happens. Definitely play with all of these different features that you have. Once you get done with this, you can also, set up the seller reports. You can activate a smart campaign.
Jesus.
But here is where you have your playbook results. Come over here to your playbook results. This is giving me a checklist of everything that I've done. Obviously, I didn't do anything, just kind of showing you an example. But you also have your playbook results. So here is where I'm actually going to see, I can do a search in my CRM for everybody with the hashtag for this property. But at one click, I can always come over to the playbook results, and I'm going to see all the contacts that were created from lead gen from sending out this playbook. Then I can come over here to agents. Now I'm going to see those agents I sent out that email to notify. I'm going to see the agents, the agent's information, and how many matches do they have that matches the criteria for my new listing. So I can say, hey, Sally, did you see you had 5 matches? Did you send that, did you send out the email, to all those people? So it is nice to be able to see all of that kind of fun stuff. And then quick sheet is just letting you know, just to get that, instead of going through all the steps. If you just wanted it for the generating of the links, you could just go right there to the quick sheet. So lots of cool stuff you can do. I love the listing playbook, one of my absolute favorites, but definitely if you have not gone through the gathering your sphere, because we want to build up our pipeline with as many people as possible, especially your sphere of influence and past clients and stuff like that, but also things that you can be doing to work your database. So now we come over to our smart CRM. And this is what is going to be showing everybody. So yes, our dashboard's kind of like a quick glance at what people are doing, what properties they're looking at. It's a great place to be, having your cup of coffee, looking at your tasks and things that you're supposed to be doing, working your database. But we also have that smart CRM. This is going to bring in everybody that we have in here. The best way to organize this is through your filters. Because yes, oh my gosh, I have all these things. What in the world? That's everybody that I have. I want to set up filters because I need to give me checklists of maybe things that I can be doing to work my database better. If you work mostly on, past clients and referrals, maybe you want to set up a filter for all of your sphere prospects, flows. Maybe you want to set up for all of these people that you imported, but maybe we want to go down here, contact details. So maybe we want all of our sphere, however we may have them labeled. Maybe you want to see who doesn't have a birthday, because I want to utilize those automatic birthday texts and emails. So I'm going to come over here. I have all of my sphere prospect closed that do not have a birthday, because they're not going to be getting those. So now it gives me something I can be doing every day. You can also do so many other different ways. So I have a little search. Now I'm going to go ahead and save. I could apply. That's just going to give me my list. She probably doesn't have anybody in here. I'm not sure if she would. So no matching, because we haven't imported anybody in here. But if you do have people in there, now you can actually save this search, and I'll put no birthday. I think I may have it. If it's important, so something like this, that's going to help you organize and fulfill your database with lacking information, you can pin it to the top. And now I'm going to go ahead and save. So I think I'd already, so now you see I have no birthday. So it gives me a checklist. I want to be able to go through, drinking my coffee in the morning. Maybe I'm a time blocker, time management's everything. So what I would do is, spend 15 minutes a week, or maybe every Monday or every whatever day, I'm going to be spending time to organize my database. I'm going to have different lead alerts as set up, and that's what I'm going to be using to organize my database. Rome wasn't built in a day. This isn't going to be done all in one day. Just a lot, maybe 30 minutes a week to work on this, and you would be blown away at how much you're going to be done. In a month, you may have everything you want fulfilled. And now your pipeline's getting fuller. So now maybe instead of, needs property alerts, doesn't have an address, doesn't have a birthday, maybe now you're going to be focusing on those incoming leads. Maybe now we want to do searches for cities. So all the leads that are labeled with different cities that they're searching in, maybe that's what's on top. So there's all sorts of different ways that we can organize this whole CRM. Instead of seeing everybody, you can easily make it work for you and what you need. And I'll just show just a couple different things that we can do. So you can sort by their status. I can sort by if they're buyer, seller, anything like that, the rating. So maybe one of my assignments is I'm going to work everything that kvCORE marked as a 4 and a 5 star. That means they're actively, clicking on links, visiting my website, their phone numbers and emails are correct. Maybe those are the people I want to focus on. So I can come over here and I want to do 4 and 5s. So I only want to focus on 4 and 5s. I'm going to work on, I'll do buyers and sellers. And let me just apply those filters and see. Oh, I don't have a birthday. Has no birthday. Let me go ahead and apply and see who I used in here. So I have one that is like a 4 or 5 actively going on there. If you have more, you could do 3 just to be able to work. Or I can come over here and maybe I want to select hashtags. So these are going to be if you're using, once you get leads generated, if you're using squeeze pages or landing pages, that automatically will create those hashtags or those text codes. You'll be able to sort by just those hashtags that you have set up. So only those people are going to be the ones that you actually see in your CRM. I can do by source, but look at all of this information that we can sort by. And of course, less choices here, more results for you to work in your system. So just remember, if you narrow it down too much, you may not see a lot, but definitely what you want to use your CRM for, that's what you should be doing inside of here. Here we have our behavior. So maybe I want to set up all of my new leads that don't have search alerts. So that way, or doesn't have a market report set up, or doesn't have a drip campaign assigned. This is allowing me to organize, fill up, make sure everybody's getting everything they want. For sure, one thing that you want to do if you have imported your past clients is you want to go to either client closed And you're going to want to look at everybody who doesn't have like this, the kvCORE or the Core Present setup. They don't have their CRM, or doesn't have a primary address. So maybe you brought everyone in, but they don't have an address associated with it. So maybe you want to just, kind of organize and all of that. So that's setting this up so you can see exactly what you want to see by using the bubbles. Of course, I can do a ton of safe searches. I only put the ones up here that are super important. When you click on this pinwheel, that is where I can completely remove the search or remove them from that top header bar. So you can decide what's important to you, what's not. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that out. Now I'm going to go right into this person, because it is important to know, okay, so I have these people, where do I find the information? What are they looking at? What's going on? What's being sent? I don't even know. So when you click on any of those leads, you're going to see everything about them. Over on this left side, you're going to see their name, their contact information, all of that. I can edit that however I want. Are they a buyer or seller? I can change them. Maybe they're both. Maybe they're buying and selling. Maybe they're a renter, anything like that. I can choose. The system will automatically do it for me based on the lead of how they were generated. But you certainly can override any of that. They're not going to change that. Here's different hashtags that are automatically assigned. So this lead was generated because they have a buyer guide on their website that's a landing page. So basically you have to fill in the information to be able to get the PDF. So that's just generating a way to build up your pipeline by creating those landing pages, adding them to your website, all of that. So here, if I wanted to add in more hashtags, all I have to do is add them in there. You can even do that as a full group on a search, all that fun stuff. This is basically saying, what am I doing on the website? Summary, price range, city, all of the kind of stuff is just kind of showing you what activity I'm doing. And then of course, you can see assigned to, but if I want to transfer this lead, I can just transfer it to anybody in my office. Maybe I'm going out of town and I have an agent that's working, that's going to be showing property and stuff. Maybe I want to share with them those contacts so that they can add in notes and they have all their information just to keep everything organized. So I may want to go ahead and share it with whatever agent is actually going to be working that contact for me. Totally up to you. And the middle part is that journey. I have this lead set up as a new lead still. If they're brand new to the system, they are going to be a new lead until they actually start engaging with us. The system is going to automatically put them in that most aggressive campaign, working the lead, asking questions, texting, email, lots of probing and asking questions, trying to get them to respond and engage. Once they are engaged with you, they're going to move out of that aggressive campaign and move over to the active campaign. Then the system is more likely going to be telling you things that you could be doing to help. So if I scroll all the way down, that is going to be showing me everything they've done since they hit the system, every property they've looked at, all the different texts and emails that have been sent out. And if I come up here to the top, I'm going to actually see future touch points. So I can go right here. What else is going to be sent because they're on this aggressive campaign? I can see show future touch points, and it's showing me here. It's going to be sending out a text. This is going to be telling me to call the lead and do leave a voicemail. It's going to tell me. So it's basically telling me all these things that I can be doing to help, but also what the system is doing on my behalf. The system working these leads, it's really helping you kind of bypass the looky-loos or just curiosity versus the ones that are more serious, which really opens up your time to focus on income producing activities versus you trying to do all of this yourself. You can do it all yourself if that's your thing, or if you have an assistant or anything. I absolutely love that the system tries to work the leads myself. You can clone these, edit any of these campaigns. You have full control, but I don't have any problems with what gets sent out. Then of course you have your profile details. That is when you can edit, add their birthday, add an address, any of that stuff. And let's see, let's get back in there. Then we have over on the right side is going to be actions. So I can call, I can add a note, I can send them an email, I can send them a text. The voicemail drop is actually, I think it's a paid service. It's more like slide dial where I can leave a voicemail and it just never calls them. And it's like, oh, I was sitting next to my phone. I never heard it ring. So that's what that voicemail drop is. And that does cost extra. You have core video. You can send 10 individual videos a month for free. If you're a video person like me, I would personally be upgrading to have, I think it's $30 a month that integrates with the BombBomb. So that way I can have unlimited videos. I would be cloning all of these campaigns and adding in my videos. So that way all these emails that get sent out, like maybe every third one, I'm going to have a video of me explaining what the email's about, or, probing, asking questions, introducing myself, all that fun stuff. So totally up to you. And of course you have more actions where you can, delete, archive, anything like that. If it's like a salesy or they don't have any valid information, if the lead was generated by remax.com and you have it, you may not be able to delete it. But what I do is I will hashtag it, maybe do not call, wouldn't respond, whatever is going to make sense for you. I will hashtag them and then I archive them. The good part about archiving, it kind of puts them way down on that list. If they become reactive and actually, go to your website again, the system will send you an email like, hey, so-and-so hasn't been on your website. You have them archived, but they just started visiting your website. Do you want to unarchive them? So then you can unarchive them when they become active again. So completely up to you. The pond, that's definitely more advanced, but the office would have to set up a pond. That's just, if you don't want it, send it to the pond. Agents can go and grab them as they want to. So that is a lot of different stuff that you can do in the leads. And of course, all of the stuff that we want to make sure they're added to the search alert. If for some reason I set up a search alert and I'm like, okay, I didn't put a price range, and as much as I love these $1 million homes, I can't afford it. And the client's like, can you adjust that for me? You can click on that. You're going to be able to see what they set up, edit it, set up another alert. You're able to kind of tweak that, customize that. A lot of people, when they initially set up that alert, may not be exactly what they're looking for, but it's very generic where you can really get into details. It's just like searching the MLS to be able to edit that for them, or add on another one, or set up how often they get it. They may say, okay, I had it daily or I had it weekly, but now I just put my house under contract. I have nowhere to live. I need to change that to as soon as something hits the market, and you can change that. So, once you do get a hold of, the clients and you're able to correspond, you can certainly edit this to match their needs and wants on what they want. So definitely you can change all of that. This is also where, active campaigns, if it's not on one, add them to one. You just click add, you come right down here, add them to a campaign that you have. You can add market reports, core present. If you want to add that, I would, before you start sending out the core present, I would go into the marketing tab so that you can fully set up with your testimonials, what template you want. You have a lot of different graphics that Remax has available. You can upload your own so that you can really make that core present presentation exactly how you want it. And then it's super easy to go ahead and, it may take up to a minute to be able to create one for anybody. But I would go into the marketing, go into core present to fully set up your profile. So that way you have exactly what you want set up there. Listing valuation, seller report. So there's a lot of things that you can do right inside of that client's information. And of course you have your listings, marketing. We're just going to quickly go over this. The core present, that's where you would go in, set up your profile, get your testimonials, photos, logos, all of that different stuff. You have a couple different templates and a lot of different slides that you can add to the presentation that Remax provides, but you can also upload your own. So definitely get that set up. The learn mores, those are going to be additional cost. I do want to click into here into smart campaigns, because I have noticed a couple of the newer onboarding. When you go into my campaigns, make sure something is there. We want to make sure you already have your campaigns. They'll be live right off the go. If they aren't live, you're going to see here status is on or off. If your campaigns are empty, come over here to the kvCORE library. This is where all those campaigns are going to be. Or maybe you are using that open house app and you want to make sure you have the open house campaign set up. so that when you use it, automatically everything happens. Come over to the kvCORE library, and right over here, you're just going to say add to my library, and then you can turn it on. And then templates, that's definitely more advanced when we get into setting up our newsletter, because this is where we can add our own templates for maybe monthly newsletters, and then we can just clone it, send out mass emails, all that fun stuff. And that's where the mass emails get started. If you want to just shoot out a full mass email, the birthdays and anniversaries, that's where those texts are. You can clone those, edit, turn them on or off. That's the automatic birthdays and anniversaries. Hashtag management, that's where you're going to see all the hashtags you have set up, and then all the contacts and everything that's going on with those. And behavioral automation is basically, and I'll just click this on real quick. So you can change. There's only a couple, and these are kind of in addition to those smart campaigns. So maybe someone generated a lead and then they never came back to my website, never corresponded. And now after 2 weeks, now they're revisiting my website. This may end up, a text may go out on their behalf. You can show who you want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead. Usually I just have it for new and active leads is what I usually have those behavioral alerts set up for. So this is, all the different, there's only a couple different ones, and it's just kind of in addition to these smart campaigns that are already going on. And it's 100% based on the activity that they're doing mostly on your website. So those are always great. Lead engine is going to be all these cool things. That's when we do our lead engine series. We have the landing pages, your IDX squeeze pages. That's how I promote every week, a different city, pool, new construction, whatever it may be. I create all of my saved searches right inside of there. That way I'm able to have everything labeled the way I want it to, which is going to really help me organize the CRM. Right now it's new. A year from now, that's going to be the best thing you ever did. The column text capture, that's where you can set up those text codes and edit them and all that fun stuff and all that. And I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any preloaded. And if I come back over here to marketing, I set up my own. Just if I go to send mass email, and I'm doing a class on that, for me, I didn't really use those mass emails because maybe because I'm just on everybody's email list from, handing out business cards. And it's like, it's the same from everyone. I want mine to be a little different. So I come over here to my mass email like you would clone. I'm just going to show you what mine looks like. So I want to send out a mass email. I can go to advanced editor, or I could use a template. So let me just type in monthly. For me, it literally maybe took me a half an hour to set this template up. So we have a header, a blog space, a spot to be able to use this dynamic content for one of her listings. Every month we get our different like market snapshot. We do it as a video, news articles or area information or events. So now we'll be working on like July 4th events. So, and then something that she may post onto social media, just kind of generic-y stuff. But I would much rather have local content that somebody wants. So I set this up as a template. All I do is I just drag and drop to replace the information that's here as my placeholder. It literally takes me 10 minutes. And then I just schedule out for whenever I want it to go out. So for me, I like using custom content. It may take a half an hour to set up the look and feel, and then I just easily replace. For me, I don't want fluff content that doesn't mean anything to anybody. Nobody reads it. I want to give somebody a reason to open my emails because I'm giving something of value, local events, local information, anything like that. That's what I want to be able to provide. And if it means it's going to, take me a half an hour to set up and 10 minutes to do each month, you're going to get out of your newsletter what you put into it, is how I kind of feel. They do have a lot of different ones. If I come over here to templates, most are definitely, this is like a lead generation machine and it's lead follow-up, but they do have different holidays. And not in this account, but in some brokers, I'm actually copying the holiday emails that were in Boosh. You can still get into your Boosh, the campaigns, and I copy and paste and create my own templates for all the holidays. So all I have to do is just look up holiday. I think there was like a Halloween, and there's all sorts of templates already pre-done in here. Most are definitely more lead follow-up. than just kind of generic. Like happy home anniversary, Father's Day. Oh, here we go. Father's Day is coming up. So they do have like Father's Day. Oh no, this is one that I must have copied over from Boosh. So basically taking what there, and then I usually will just change out the graphic, but it is nice. I can kind of edit in my signature. We want to make sure to include the agent signature on anything we do, but it allows you to go ahead and easily send any of those up. So look at what templates are already there. I love, again, this is where our organized by hashtags or anything like that are automatically going to make it super easy for us to mass send, whether it be everybody or specific groups of people based on our folder labels. And then, we can set up, the time and date that we want it to go out. So lots of, I just want to send to everybody. We'll go ahead and schedule this because that is what's going on. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll schedule that for Saturday. Okay. And what time? Let's go ahead and do it. Where am I? I'm going too fast here. Let's do it. Noon. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and schedule that. Oop. Everybody. Oh, from there. New lead, active lead. I really want everybody. So I should do a safe search for everybody. And now let's go ahead and schedule. And I'm done. So now that'll automatically go out. We're good to go. I did not see a lot of questions in here. And we're almost at an hour. That's a lot of stuff. Boosh has a ton of stuff. So make sure to check out their Web and IDX. We're going to be doing a website class, so don't worry about that. Marketplace. If you are looking for different things, I should go back into, let me go back into this lead engine. Did not finish that. Get more leads. The bulk import, that's where you can have your CSV files as you're collecting all those. You can submit your file. They'll do it for you, or you can do it yourself. There's little videos on that. Or if you do like a Zillow, Realtor.com, any of those other third-party systems, here are all of those key codes that you need. But also when you go into the third party, when it comes to like Zillow, they have all of this right in here so that you can bring all of your leads from those third parties, bring them all into one place so that you can work them, send out those newsletters, anything like that. So lots of good stuff. I'm going to try to be keeping these monthly kvCORE classes to like 30-45 minutes. I knew today there was no way I was going to be able to cover everything I wanted to cover for that basic in 30 minutes or less. But I do have a ton of video tutorials, just kind of the questions I get all the time. They're usually under 10 minutes. I have them on my blog. And then of course we have the recordings for anybody that's registered to get all of those classes and courses and longer video styles that we have. But I'm always here. If you guys have any questions on anything that we're doing, feel free to reach out. I'm always here to help. I'm inside of here all day long. I usually get the same questions or see them all the time. And I want to be able to help you answer, but definitely go through and watch some of those training videos to really help you understand the system. This is absolutely an incredible system that we have. Again, you won't use all the tools. It's just a matter of finding the ones that are going to complement and help you work smarter, not harder, so that you can really hold on to those and start working all of that. But thank you all for joining. And I look forward to next month. Not even sure what that class is. Probably going to be websites, maybe on organizing all of those. But I look forward to next month. And until then, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye, guys.